He was known as the Gray Man, the Werewolf of Wisteria, the Brooklyn Vampire. But his real name was Albert Fish, and the truth of his life is far more disturbing than any fairy tale monster. This is the story of a man whose cruelty knew no bounds, a predator who hid in plain sight for decades, preying on the most vulnerable. Born in 1870 in Washington, D.C., Fish's childhood was marked by tragedy and instability. His father passed away when he was young, and his mother, unable to care for him, placed him in an orphanage. It was there, within the walls of what should have been a sanctuary, that the seeds of his future horrors were allegedly sown. The institution was a place of harsh discipline and abuse, experiences that would warp his mind in unimaginable ways. He later claimed these early years were filled with acts of self-harm, a dark habit that would follow him throughout his life, escalating in its severity. As a young man, Fish drifted from job to job, marrying and starting a family. To the outside world, he was an ordinary, if eccentric, house painter. He was a father of 6, a seemingly normal member of society. But beneath this thin veneer of normalcy, a monster was growing. His travels for work gave him the perfect cover, allowing him to move from town to town, state to state, leaving a trail of missing children in his wake. Fish's methods were chillingly deceptive. He often targeted families struggling with poverty, appearing as a kind, elderly man offering work or a better life for their children. He would answer newspaper ads placed by parents looking for help, weaving elaborate lies to gain their trust. He would present himself as a lonely farmer named Frank Howard, a man looking to adopt a child to help on his farm. It was a simple, effective trick that played on the hopes and desperation of his victims' parents. His most infamous crime, the one that ultimately led to his downfall, was the abduction and murder of 10-year-old Grace Budd in 1928. He visited the Budd family in their New York apartment, charming them with stories of his fictional farm and offering Grace's older brother a job. He gained their trust over several visits. Then, he offered to take little Grace to his niece's birthday party. He promised to have her back that same evening. Grace's parents, seeing a harmless old man, agreed. Grace Budd was never seen alive again. For 6 long years, the Budd family lived with the agony of not knowing what happened to their daughter. The police had few leads, and the case went cold. The disappearance of Grace Budd became just another unsolved mystery in the files of the New York Police Department. The Gray Man, as the press had nicknamed him, had seemingly vanished without a trace. Then, in 1934, a letter arrived at the Budd household. The contents were so shocking, so utterly depraved, that it's hard to comprehend. In the letter, Albert Fish described in gruesome and explicit detail what he had done to Grace. He taunted the family with the horrific specifics of her murder. It was a final, sadistic act of cruelty from a man who reveled in the pain of others. But this monstrous letter contained a fatal mistake. The stationery Fish used had a small, unique emblem on it, the logo of the New York Private Chauffeurs Benevolent Association. This tiny clue was all Detective William King of the Missing Persons Bureau needed. King's relentless investigation led him through a maze of boarding houses and shared addresses, following the faint trail left by the man who used the alias Frank Howard. Finally, the trail led to a rundown rooming house. There, Detective King found him. The mild-mannered elderly man who opened the door was Albert Fish. At first, he denied everything. But when confronted with the evidence, especially the stationery, he calmly confessed. And he didn't just confess to the murder of Grace Budd. He began to recount a lifetime of unspeakable acts, claiming to have harmed hundreds of children across numerous states. The investigation into Fish's claims was a journey into a nightmare. Police were able to confirm several other murders, but the true number of his victims remains unknown to this day. He was a phantom, moving through the shadows of society, his crimes often going unnoticed or unlinked. He kept no souvenirs save for the dark memories he recounted with chilling detachment. During his trial, the courtroom was stunned into silence as the details of his crimes were read aloud. His own letters, filled with his vile confessions, became the primary evidence against him. Psychiatrists who examined him were baffled. They described him as a man completely devoid of empathy, a man who derived pleasure from pain, both his own and that of others. They found X-rays that revealed over 24 needles he had inserted into his own body over the years, a testament to his extreme masochism. The defense argued for insanity, claiming Fish was not responsible for his actions due to his profound mental illness. But the prosecution painted a picture of a cunning and manipulative predator who knew exactly what he was doing. The jury was faced with a difficult question. Was Albert Fish evil, or was he insane? In the end, they found him sane enough to stand trial and guilty of murder. On January 16, 1936, Albert Fish was executed in the electric chair at Sing Sing prison. His final words were reportedly a quiet, eerie statement about the thrill he was about to experience, a final disturbing glimpse into a mind that remained an enigma until the very end. The case of Albert Fish serves as a chilling reminder that monsters are not just characters in stories. Sometimes, they are the quiet neighbor, the friendly stranger, the harmless-looking old man. His story forced society to confront a darkness it didn't want to believe existed and changed the way law enforcement investigated crimes against children. Even today, the name Albert Fish is synonymous with the worst aspects of human nature, a cautionary tale written in the tears of countless families. Thank you for watching, and if you found this documentary informative, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most compelling cases. Diving deeper into the twisted mind of Albert Fish, psychologists at the time were faced with a puzzle unlike any they had seen before. Dr. Frederick Wortham, who led the psychiatric examination, diagnosed Fish with a complex mix of severe psychological disorders. He wasn't just a monster. He was a man consumed by extreme masochism, deriving pleasure from his own pain and a terrifying form of sadism projected onto his victims. Wortham's analysis revealed that Fish lived in a grotesque fantasy world where his violent acts were entangled with religious delusions. He genuinely believed his suffering and the suffering he inflicted were pathways to spiritual salvation. This wasn't the simple evil the public expected. It was a profound and disturbing mental illness that challenged the very definitions of sanity and responsibility. The trial itself became a media circus. Newspapers, hungry for sensational headlines, dubbed him the Werewolf of Wisteria, the Brooklyn Vampire, and the Gray Man. Reporters packed the courtroom, scribbling down every lurid detail of his confessions. The public was both horrified and fascinated, and the case dominated conversations across the country. This intense media coverage turned the trial into a public spectacle, raising difficult questions about the press's role in the justice system. Was it informing the public or simply profiting from a tragedy? This sensationalism set a precedent for how true crime stories would be covered for decades to come, blurring the line between news and entertainment. The legacy of the Albert Fish case is long and complex. It forced law enforcement and the legal system to confront the reality of serial predators and the importance of psychiatric evaluation in criminal cases. It highlighted the vulnerability of children and contributed to a growing societal awareness, leading to the creation of stranger danger campaigns that would become a staple of childhood education. The case also served as a dark benchmark in the study of criminal psychology, providing invaluable, albeit horrifying insight into the minds of the most dangerous offenders. Fish's story remains a chilling reminder of the depths of human depravity and a crucial case study for those who work to protect society from its darkest elements. Thanks for watching. If you found this deep dive interesting, please like and subscribe for more.